talking about the show, which is on fire. Couldn't be hotter right now. Huge ratings, great. Critics are raving about it. And the hours are, that's what we were just talking about. Like, what's an average day for you?
16.
16 hours?
16 at least,
So
yeah.
you get there at like 5 in the morning?
Well, not every day starts so early. We start very early in the week. But the good thing I have to say is I never have to pretend to be this exhausted intern because I really am exhausted all the time. So, and I don't really, I get to just throw on those scrubs in the morning and throw my hair in a ponytail and not have to look glamorous or anything, so.
Yeah, I always think that about the people on Lost, because they're supposed to look like they're on an island and wear the same clothes every day and all that stuff. It's a good job when you have something you can just throw on the same thing every day.
Sandra and I just found a new appreciation for the scrubs because Sandra Oh, who plays Christina Yang, although I can't reveal what it is, we just recently had the chance to dress up on the show for something that happens in the finale. And we were really dressed up. And we just looked at each other and said, thank God for the scrubs, so we'll never complain about the scrubs again.
So you're dressed up like in some type of fancy...
Can't say.
Wedding type dress? Like, would you go to a wedding and something like that?
Can't say.
All right. All right, so you already shot the finale?
Chip?
Yeah. You know what? These are cold, send these back. So you shot the... Thanks. So you shot the finale.
We did. The finale is, actually, I think it's the first time this has ever been done. It's a 3-parter. It's going to be 1 hour on Sunday night, and then 2 hours the next night on Monday.
Oh, that's great.
So it's 3 parts total.
Well, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
And you get to have a little break. You're going to take some time off this summer?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Get some rest. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you. I want to say, first of all, I'm a fan. I've been a fan for a long, long time, and I'm happy for all your success. And it is about time that you're here. We have been trying to get you here for so long, and when people constantly ask for certain people, you are the #1 requested guest. People want you on the show.
Oh, thank you. It's great to finally be here. It's great, thank you.
Well, thanks.
It's been very tricky with the schedule with the show.
I know, but I'm glad you're here, and congratulations. We saw each other last night at the People's Choice Awards, and you won as well.
Yes, I did. Thank you, people. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. Wonderful.
You won, and then Beth Drama also,
and the show won as well, so we're very excited today.
That's a big night for you.
It was a great night.
That's hard, because you have long, long hours, and then you're trying to go out at night. You have to get up probably early.
Well, fortunately, we worked all weekend, and then we had Monday, Tuesday off, and back to work on Thursday, I think.
All right.
I think I've got my day straight.
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is.
I don't know what's going on.
And it's Golden Globes. That's coming up, and you're
That's
nominated for Golden Globe and for SAG Award. Just craziness.
Yeah, we've been blessed with a lot of success lately, so we're thankful.
And your wife is expecting twins. Is that right?
Yes, twin boys.
When is that?
Any minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Any minute.
Any minute.
So she's having to stay home. She can't even go with you to these things.
Right. She's relaxing in bed.
Two twin boys, and names yet or no?
Yes, we have names, but we're not telling anyone.
Good.
Because usually somebody has an association with a name that you pick. It's a dog or a cat or an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend that they don't like anymore.
Yeah.
It certainly ruins the whole thing for you.
Because then once they're here, there's no way they can say anything bad about it because they're already named.
Right. They just look at you strangely. Oh, right. Great.
Yeah.
Name.
But then they catch on. Like, at first, I thought Apple was kind of a weird name, but I like it now. I think Apple is a good name.
Yeah, it's fresh. It's crunchy.
It is.
Sorry.
Is that one of...
Very rude.
Yeah.
No, Apple, it's great.
It is a cute name.
Fruit's a good name.
There is a good... Fruits are good names.
Fruits, yeah.
So...
Like banana.
And then... So maybe that's one of your names.
Yeah, banana and peach.
You're trying it out.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. I'm just testing the waters here.
And see,
it's getting a good reaction.
And no one cares. I think you could name your child anything. And you have a little girl, Tallulah, is that her name?
Yes, Tallulah.
That's a good name.
Yes, it's a great name.
That's a really good name. And how old is she?
She's going to be 5 in a couple weeks.
And what does she think about babies coming along?
She's very excited. She wants to participate. She wants to change diapers, and we're encouraging that a lot.
Yeah. You'll need that.
Go change the diapers.
Right.
Great job. Wonderful.
Yeah. They're barely hanging on, but you're like, good.
That's okay.
Doesn't matter.
A for effort.
And now, you know what? And also, because twins, that's going to be a handful.
Yes.
I recommend if you hold them upside down, just rub their little stomach.
It helps them to go to sleep at night, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're not really responsive, though, once they get in that state. It's
No,
hard, but
not really.
It's okay. They're
But
quiet.
you can put cute little outfits on, and they're not
Yeah.
going to take them off. Now, how wild is that?
That was crazy, right? How do you learn that? Number one, how did you discover that's how you put a lizard out? I guess that's part of the gift.
Well, not just how do you discover that, but how would you think to put it in a little princess outfit with a unicorn behind it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
That's she's on her way to something. You've got talents that I actually, if you come back again, I'm going to beg you to do this if you can still do it.
Okay.
I'm impressed by this. You can ride a unicycle?
Yes.
That's like the hardest thing. That's total balance, every muscle in your body, right?
It took me a year to learn.
Really?
Yes.
And
I just didn't give up. Finally, I got it one day.
good for you.
Right.
And do you do it much anymore?
Not much anymore at all.
No?
No.
Will you do it if you come back though?
Yeah, I would definitely give it a shot. It's been quite some time, so.
And you juggle.
Yes.
You're
that
a
I
good,
still do.
You're a good juggler.
I started off many years ago, and I did that in a...
Look at that.
Oh, my God.
Look at that. That's really talented. How old are you there?
I think I'm 15. I was at the International Jugglers Competition in Cleveland, Ohio. And
That's
where
really
did that
good.
come from? That's amazing.
I had that at home.
That's funny. That I was second place in the competition. Anthony Gatto, I believe, was the winner and has gone on to become an amazing...
Is he somebody
juggler.
we should know, Anthony?
Anthony is probably the best juggler in the world right now.
Really?
So, yeah.
We
I
don't-
was
I don't
second
know.
place to that gentleman.
See?
Yeah.
Well, and look
That's
at
funny. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Thank you. That was
it's
great.
very impressive.
Thanks.
And are you getting used to the crazy response of the? I mean, the show is so popular. Your role is so. I mean, this is.
It's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very thankful to be recognized and to work, to have a job, and that people actually like it and watch it and are very passionate about what happens with my character in Meredith is always good. And
Yeah.
It's been very surprising. I don't think we understand quite how much of an impact it has made because we're working all the time, but
Right.
I certainly am very appreciative that people like the show.
Well, you
and
feel it when you come out.
Yeah,
and
it was
people,
amazing.
people see you. I mean, I love the show. I think it's great. It's
a great cast.
It is.
The music's wonderful in it,
Yeah.
the writing, and it's all of those elements coming together that make the show
Yeah.
successful.
Congratulations on the success of the show. People are going nuts for it. Do you have you never know when you do a show what people are going to respond to, no matter how good it is. But do you have any kind of theory on why people love the show so much?
I think the Sunday night time slot, that doesn't hurt. No, I think that it's just sort of the perfect storm of elements. We lucked out with great writing, and Shonda Rhimes writes, kind of effortlessly writes a diverse, storyline and workplace that looks real and like what people see when they go to work, maybe. And
also Patrick Dempsey, I'm happy for him because I've always liked him. I
Yeah.
thought he was so good, and he disappeared for a while.
I
and so
know.
I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
So, this is something that, I don't know how this happened, but we found out that you were in jail one night.
Yeah,
and
it was great.
Really?
It's wonderful. Everybody should do it.
Really?
Yes, Mom. Yeah, jail. I just realized my mother and her. Like,
Yeah.
Don't tell Mom.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mom, I was in the big house. It was cool. Yeah.
Wait, is this really, your mother's never heard this
No,
until
she
now?
really. I realized I was back there. I'm like, my mom was emailed everyone. Katie's on Ellen. Tune in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's gonna love this.
So tell us, Kate, about your time in the Slammer.
My time in the big house.
Yeah.
It was so absurd. It turns out you don't want to throw a cue ball through a mirror in a bar after a few drinks with a friend. I don't know what happened. It wasn't some crazy.
Was it a fight or?
Yeah. Fight. No, it was just this argument that escalated after a couple of vodka and tonics. And my friend Pat McCartney, we're a couple Irish people, whatever. He started arguing, and one thing led to another. And I thought, I'll end this. It just seemed very logical. It was very calm and calculated. It was just like everything went slow motion. I was. And then we quietly walked out, and then I was arrested. And it was a little like the cheerleader went crazy or something, because at the time I had short bleached blonde hair and a little mini skirt and platform sandals and this little 70s retro top. I'm like, and the cops were like, what? You did what? And I'm like, they're like, oh no, don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. And then cut to me in the back of the police car, which was a new car. And I was like, oh, it's a new car smell, cool. And it was all like, I'm not inside my body. I'm outside watching this all happen. Like, this is great. And they're like, don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. Cut to me in the back of another police car going to the big house, the big house. And
Where is this?
in Chicago.
Oh, no.
It wasn't like, Andy Griffith, like, hey,
Yeah.
Mayberry. It was like, Cook County. Just a little place called Cook County. It was cool.
It wasn't you and Otis in there with the door open where you could walk in and out.
Yeah, no. It was.
So you're in a jail. Was anybody else in there with you?
Yeah, that was the thing. When I was walking down the cell block, and I was at the last cell. It was like a horror movie, and it was freezing cold. They keep it chilly in there, even in August. Where
How
it's like,
rude.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, and I turned the corner and I saw my cellmates who were spooning. They were spooning.
Oh.
A couple of gals just try to keep warm.
Yeah.
And I went in
And you're like, hi.
I'm like, hi, I'm Kate.
And did they stop spooning and introduce themselves? Or?
I didn't want to wake them.
Uh-huh.
I was like, just let them sleep. And then the hysterical crying and keening from
woke
me.
them up?
Woke them, and they told me to shut up. And and then they asked me what I was in for. And I was like, I threw a cue ball. They're like, what? Yeah.
What
so
were they
everyone-
in for?
Some shoplifting.
Uh-huh.
Some grand theft larceny.
Oh, wow.
Whatever.
Clearly,
cool.
they didn't steal warm enough clothes that they had to spoon to.
Yeah, I guess they didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
man.
it was August in Chicago. It's like 800% humidity and 400 degrees.
And yet
so
they kept it cold in the
keep it
sling.
cold.
Oh, man. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
So
If you're planning on getting arrested,
if you're
wear a
gonna get
warm
arrested,
jacket.
bring a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice sweater set.
Little thermos.
All right.
Coffee.
Well,
Yeah.
what's your mom's name?
Angela.
There you have it, Angela.
Yeah.
That's the story. Woo! This is the first time. I can't believe we've never met, have we?
No, we have never met. This is a great pleasure.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. I can't believe we've never met.
No.
I feel like I know you.
I feel like I know you. I know a lot about you.
Here's what I do know about you, about your parents. I love that. They went to the Emmys with you this year and last
Yeah.
year. You brought them both years, and I think that's so sweet that you brought. They must be so proud.
Yeah, my parents are extremely proud. I'm from Canada, and they immigrated from.
We love Canadians. Canadians.
And they immigrated from South Korea, so it's like a really long way then to get on to like the red carpet and your daughter's at the Emmys. It's been a really wonderful and
At
lovely
what age?
journey.
When did they come here to Canada?
They came in the early 60s when they were in their mid to late 20s.
Uh-huh.
So it's been a long time.
So and were they proud like right away? They were like, go and be an actress.
No, I mean, I think classically with a lot of immigrant families and a lot of Asian immigrant families, if you go into the arts to pursue that kind of passionate dream, it's not necessarily as a secure job as
No.
we know. So you're putting yourself out for a lot of risk. And, education is so important to my culture.
Mm-hmm.
My Canadian culture, that it was really, like, I'm the only person in my family who doesn't have a master's in something. Do you know what I mean? So when it came to the time where I actually don't have a college degree, I went to theater school, I went to the National Theater School. It was very, very tough.
Wow.
Because, like, my parents at that time really looked down on the arts, like it's really, it was hard. It's like, one step above, prostitution.
Really? I don't think
It was hard. It's a different thing because they go like, what's the purpose of it? What is the social purpose of what you're doing? Because they really, really instilled in all of us, my sister and my brother, that whatever you have to do has to be good for society. And there just doesn't seem to be what's the good of being an actor on camera? What the good is? What are you helping society with?
I say this all the time. You put it out there, and it's going to come back. They were so worried, and they were saying that it's a step above prostitution.
yeah.
Of course, your first role is a prostitute
And a drug addict.
And a drug addict
Yeah.
on top of it. All right, and so tonight is the season premiere.
Yes, the third season premiere.
And it's moving to a new night, which
Yes,
is
Thursdays at 9.
yeah. So are you happy about that?
I don't know. So many people ask us, like, are you happy about the change? I don't know. I don't know. I hope it does well. I hope people come and watch it on Thursday. I hope you guys
I think
do.
they will.
I generally like Thursdays are the day, you know, so it should be okay.
Thursday's a good day. I think it's a good day. And so the only thing that I want to ask is you get caught in red lingerie.
Oh my
so
God. You know, it's like
something's-
when you get those scripts and you go, oh, and then she's in her lingerie. I just go, are you kidding me? I
Yeah.
gotta get in lingerie and like, oh. And then they use it as like the teaser to the show.
Right.
And you have no idea that's gonna happen. And
Yeah, that's why I don't wear the red lingerie anymore, because I know they're going to use it for a teaser, so I won't do it. The last time you were here, you were talking about, see, they're doing this here, but when people see you on the street, you said they think you're a jerk, and they treat you like you're a jerk.
Which, you know, and now, you know, you see the character, they're starting to get more into the characters on the show, so we see that he's going into into the gynecology, and so we're seeing more of the sensitive side of this character, and he's dealing with these kids, so, you know, as the show progresses, we get more of the human side of these characters, so I don't think fans of the show are a little less, you know, hateful. They're starting to be a little more nice to.
You must
to
be
membership.
relieved about that they're making your character a little softer and that
A little
you-
softer, yeah, you know. I mean, you can't be a jerk all the time.
No,
you know?
no.
Not all
Some
the
people
time.
can. But, now, do you find out, how far in advance do you find out what's going to happen with your character?
Very little, you know. I mean, today we just had to read through for this news story that we start shooting tomorrow. So
Really?
it's sort of off the cuff. You kind of get an idea of where your characters are going, but you know, sometimes they change it at the last minute. So it's just the crazy world television. You know, we're sort of pumping out so many different shows. There's like
Right.
24, I believe. So
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot.
Good, steady job.
It is
Now,
a great
it-
job. I love my job.
Yeah. Isn't it weird, though, that you end up working on a show in a hospital when I found this out about you? You have a twin, right?
I have a twin, yeah.
And when you were growing up, maybe I have a shot with him. But that y'all spent so much time in hospitals growing up.
Yeah.
How many times were you hospitalized?
At least 11 or 12 times. I'd have to ask my mom again.
By
But
what age?
But all of it happened before the age of 7.
Really?
Yeah, we had pneumonia a lot. My brother more. I think he was born with yellow jaundice. You know, at this time, this is 1970, you know? I don't
Oh,
know.
back in the 70s, yeah.
You know.
They
that's a
didn't
while
have
ago.
medicine then.
I mean, now, you know, I guess we were small and you know, kind of weak, so we were sick a lot. But I don't remember it. I mean, it was, you know.
You don't?
Not really.
Well, that's good, because,
Yeah.
you know, you're...
It was all the medication.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
we're all
but
pumped up.
that's helpful then, you don't, because that's traumatizing for a kid to be in and out of the hospital
Especially
that much.
at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have, how many kids? 5?
I have 5.
5 kids.
Yeah. I have twins.
And you
which is
do?
strange. It's very strange for
Twin
twins
girls
to
or
have
boys?
girls. They're fraternal, and I'm a fraternal twin. So it's usually the mother's side, and it's supposed to skip generations, but obviously they don't know crap. Because,
Wow.
You know,
That's amazing. And are they pretty healthy, or is like
they're little. They're tiny little birds. I worry about them all the time because they're so little. They're smaller than the other kids. And I mean, even when it's windy and they go to the bus, I'm afraid the wind's gonna blow them away. They're so tiny.
Well, that is small.
That
I
is
mean,
pretty
when you
small.
think about it.
I'm not kidding. Their
Yeah,
arms are like
yeah.
that big. They're just I call them little birds. They're adorable. They're really, really good kids. I was blessed with really kind, cool kids.
So they're here now. You said you're
Yeah,
because
we
they were
moved.
in New York.
Yeah, they've been in New York I've been, you know, going back and forth for the last year and a half, but, you know, the show's doing well, obviously, and so they started school out here, and it's all good, you know.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that must have been really hard to have your wife and your kids there and have to.
Yeah, it
I assume
was.
your wife was with your kids.
Yeah.
That would have been
We
weird that
didn't-
both of you were here. Yeah, and you both go back and visit them.
Yeah.
But mommy and daddy will be in L.A. That was almost dancing just now. I almost got you to dance. I was just going to go back and forth and see if you'd go into it.
That's probably the extent of it.
That's
for
it.
me.
You're not going to dance.
I'm not. I just, you know, it's not. I had a friend in Minneapolis who actually would get mad at me when I danced. Like, actually,
How old were you?
probably in my early 20s.
See, traumatizing.
I
Someone
know.
makes fun of you dancing.
And I, you know, because it was like a combination of, I think, my dancing and then my facial expression.
Oh.
You know,
Well-
and it like because he'd say stop it, stop it,
What
stop
facial
it. and
expression?
I don't know
Like
if
just
I should even do that.
concentration, sort of?
No, happy, like,
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, I can.
And then he would get, and then I'd do it, you know, to annoy him a little bit more, and then he would get mad.
Yeah.
And so I just figure it's kind of,
It's better not to dance.
you know, there are people who do it well.
So, congratulations on the Golden Globe. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
thanks.
Really exciting.
It's cool. I didn't think, yeah.
Really,
So
y'all
it's
didn't
cool.
think you'd win?
I didn't think so, but maybe it was.
Who did you
more
think
just
was going to
kinda
win?
like- I don't know, but just not.
Just anyone but you?
I think just because, I don't know. That's just where my mind goes. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it happens and it's
But
just
it's such a
little
huge show. I mean, I
petty.
love the show. Everyone loves
Oh,
the
really?
show,
Oh,
but
cool.
it's fantastic. And now, I love it for all the same reasons that everybody loves it. There's just a little bit of everything in it. And now you have the McDreamy and McSteamy, and now you're being shirtless, and you're the sex symbol on the show as well, which I love. That you are. No, there's a whole little fan club on the internet. Getting a whole little sex symbol.
No, not at all. I don't think
I
so.
call you-
I mean, standing next to Eric Dane, Justin Chambers, I mean,
Doesn't matter.
it's sad.
No.
know?
No.
No, I'm just,
You're
you know.
McYummy, is what you are. That's your name. It'll spread like wildfire. Watch.
I don't see it. I don't see it when
Well,
I look at
that's
the
why
mirror.
it's even sexier when you don't see it. I don't like people who know it and walk around feeling it. It's not
Yeah,
right.
No.
No.
Especially not being naked too, you know, when you're filming. It's just not.
Are you naked
it's
when
not
you're filming?
right. Well, for a while, yeah. I
You-
mean, like the first time we did it was a shower scene. Nothing. Because there's a not a shower curtain, shower door.
Uh-huh.
And so they could see the flesh underwear. When it get wet, it would get even
Darker, yeah.
So nothing at all. And I like standing there, and like the director's talking to me, and it's just unbelievably humiliating. And
Sure.
and then we did it again, and then they give you a sock. Not a real sock, but a flesh-colored sock.
Uh-huh.
But then you see it, and it's like they can't even show, like, well, I guess Eric did when he did his thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, they couldn't. At one point, I was holding a book, and they couldn't even show this part. Like that it looked, you know. Anyway, so once it's, I got to a point where it was just like, you know, you just have to, like, you know, I'm gonna wear jeans.
Yeah,
I'm
because if
gonna
they
wear
can't
jeans
show
because
that.
if they're not gonna do the whole thing anyway, then I'm just like, you know, because you put yourself through a, you know, or I do anyway, you know, the ringer kind of, you know, because you're just like, you know, unless you're an exhibitionist, which I'm not, but I mean,
Yeah.
I imagine if you were, it's like, hey,
It's a
party
dream
time.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, run another scene.
Yeah.
Make me naked again.
You'd
But-
screw up on purpose so that you'd have
yeah,
more takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drop the sock or something. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, so jeans totally work now.
Yeah.
you
So
know?
now you're not.
Or shorts.
You're not freaking out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Try not to.
Well, no, but I really do. I love the relationship. I love everything that's happening with your character on the show. What does TR stand for, by the way?
I should have something ready, but it's just my name, TR, Theodore Raymond.
And how long has it been TR?
Since I was a baby.
Oh, right away.
Since I knew anything.
Uh-huh.
My brother, my sisters, they got normal names. But for some reason, I don't know why they did the
Well,
initials.
that's a normal name.
Well, no, the TR part. I always kind of wanted to change it. Like,
Oh, I think
when
that's
I moved
cool.
to New York, I was going to change it, and then when I moved out here, I was going to change it. But I could never think of anything to change it to, and
No.
I don't know.
I moved to when I was 16, I moved to a different town, to Atlanta, Texas, and I thought this is my chance to start over because I didn't like Ellen, and I thought I'll go by my middle name, Lee. And every time I'd go to introduce myself, I'd say, hi, I'm Ellen. I mean Lee, and it was too late because, so I never could remember to just start with Lee.
Because you.
Yeah, I would just right away say Ellen, and then I sounded crazy. I mean Lee.
I mean Jane. I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
We are back with TR Knight, or McYummy from Grey's Anatomy. All right. So here's the thing. So those of you may know the story, some may not know the story, but on the set of Grey's Anatomy, how long ago did this happen?
October? Early October.
Okay, October. So Patrick Dempsey and Isaiah Washington are on the set. A
Right.
scene's about to start. They start
Right.
getting in a fight.
Right.
And of words.
Right.
And Isaiah.
Not because I was late.
No. That was supposedly what it was? Okay,
I had
so.
my little backpack on. I was all ready to go.
You were there. You were.
Yeah, I was there, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so and Isaiah Washington says what to Patrick Dempsey?
I was. He referred to me as a.
As a.
Yes.
So you're around the corner and hear this.
Oh, it's such an awesome word, isn't
It's
it?
it really is. It's unbelievable that it's bad
yuck.
enough in
Anyway.
In schoolyards
Yeah,
that
so I heard
happens,
it.
but
I
a
heard it.
grown
Everyone
man.
heard it.
Everyone heard it. He says
it
a
was
horrible,
on
hateful
the
word.
set.
And so then it puts you in a position because you weren't out, and then everyone on the set is hearing this, and then you.
Well, I was under no delusions that, I mean, my friends on the set, of course, we talked about it, or, you know, they knew. But, I mean, I wasn't under any delusion that people didn't know. But I think publicly, I mean, it's not my, like, thing to, you know, call up People magazine and be like, hey, do you want to know something about me? Yeah. You know, so I think when it happened, I'd never been called it. I mean, you know, you go through things in life, and maybe you lose friends when they, you know, you go through the process of whatever your journey is. And, you know, but I've never been called that to my face. And so I think when that happened, it's like, I don't know, there's something shifted, and it just became bigger, you know what I mean, than myself. And then you look to, you know, people like you who were, you know, like almost, it was April, right? 10 years in April?
Yeah.
That, you know, to your bravery and other people's bravery, and, you know, and you're just really grateful for that. So it gives you, you know, because I could have just let it slide and not said anything, but it just, it became important.
And it became a thing in the press because of the fight.
To say something, it became important for me to, just to make the statement.
And I love the statement. You said that, you know, I hope that this is not who, you know, this does not define me. I hope there's a lot more interesting things about me than the fact that I'm gay, but, you know, so it wasn't a big thing. And then again, the other night at the Golden Globes, I guess Isaiah Washington just started the whole thing up again, which is kind of crazy. I don't
denied that he said it.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. What do you? I don't know what to say really about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't either. Other than I think that it seems like at this point in time we should not say hateful words to one another, and we should all learn.
No.
Well, here's what I love. I love that the show won a Golden Globe. I love that people love the show and embrace the show. I love that your character is still in this relationship, and I love the relationship, the dynamic between you two.
Oh yeah, Sada.
It's a
she's
fantastic.
awesome.
I love her. I love her.
Yeah,
so
she's really cool.
you know, I just wish you continued success, and that this is out of the way, and that you know, that people stop saying hard, just hateful things to one another, or just using that word. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous.
It is, and it's just and I don't know. I just hope. I don't know what to say. I mean about it. It's just it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad,
And,
but you're. I'm proud of you. You're a brave
But seriously
guy.
though, thanks to you for.
Well,
I mean, I know. You know, it was, you know, growing up. I wasn't like. I mean, it was 10 years ago. I wasn't like 4, but I mean, it was so. It just made all the
it
difference.
was a different
in the
time.
world.
Things are getting better.
Yeah, because
But,
I was recently watching some of your interviews from that time, and it was just, I don't know. It was just really so, and I don't know, I'm losing my words, and I apologize, but it was just very moving, and it meant so much, so.
Thanks. Well, what you're doing is
you've
going to
got
mean
my
something to
gratitude.
other people that are seeing that, because you're an amazing guy. So I'm proud of you.
You're very
Come
sweet.
back anytime.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. I've been wanting you on the show.
Thank you.
I think
I've been loving you on your show.
Thank you. I've been wanting you on here. I think you're fantastic, and I love your
you.
character, and I
Thank you.
think you're great. And it's Sada.
You got it right.
I did.
It was perfect.
Sada
Thank you.
Ramirez.
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 Yes, or Ramirez.
And what do most people call you? Sarah Ramirez?
Sometimes it's Sarda Ramirez, and sometimes it's Sarah Ramirez. It just depends.
So it doesn't matter to you. You're not so strict about, and you have no accent.
I don't have an accent.
Well-
I used to when I was 8, when I first got here with
Just
my
when you
mom.
were 8?
Just when I was 8. 9, it went away like that.
And
August 31st,
And
bam.
7 you were fine, but
Yeah.
8. Well, where are you from?
I love you. I was born in Mexico, in Mazatlan, Sinaloa.
Mazatlan.
Yeah.
That whole
Thank you.
From Mazatlan, that whole section.
Yes. Is that from me?
And then you, yes, we brought them in for you. Yes, yes. And then you moved when you were 8. Is that right?
Yes, I moved when I was 8.
To where?
To San Diego, California. Wow. Yeah, and
And next
quickly-
you moved on to?
Yes, the San Diego section, representing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quickly turned into a Valley girl. That's kind of what.
And then we have the Valley Girl section. Yeah. So you joined the show, Grey's Anatomy. Were you
Yes.
a fan before you went on?
I was a huge fan.
And you
Huge
went
fan.
on for one guest appearance.
No, it was 8 episodes.
It was
the
8.
last 8 episodes of season 2.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then after that, they asked me back full time this year.
Oh,
So.
I'm glad. I thought it was one, and then they added that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
I am so incredibly blessed. I am so grateful.
And now, everybody's talking about the tensions on the set recently between the cast members. And is that still going on, or is it just in the press that that's going on?
No. Everybody's moved on. Everybody moved on a long time ago. We're like, what? But you know, it's every nucleus, every family has stuff that happens, and we've moved on. So
Right.
everybody else should.
But as a result of the thing, of the whatever happened, whoever knows what
Yes, the
happened.
whatever. That's
the
what
thing
we'll
that
call it.
happened.
The
But
thing.
George, your boyfriend in the show, or maybe not, but who plays T.R. Knight, came out because of this. And is that good, or is that? I mean, how is he dealing with that? How are y'all dealing with that?
Look, I think I really respect him and admire him, and I think it was an incredibly courageous thing to do in a very, very classy way. And I think it's just a sign of the times, and I think it's wonderful. He put it in such a classy way that he hopes it's not the most interesting thing about him. And, you know, some of us knew about this beforehand, and, you know, we loved him and supported him before, and we love him and support him after. There's really no difference or change to me. You know, he's an amazing actor. He's an incredible performer and an artist.
Yeah.
And that to me is more interesting than anything else, and a very, very generous human being.
Yeah, he's adorable. He's
Yeah,
great. I mean,
yeah.
I think everybody on there. It's a great
It's
cast.
an incredible,
and it's
brilliant
smart
group of people.
writing. And
the Shonda Rhimes. I mean, it's just the whole thing is really great quality. So
Good. Well, I
feel
love
very
watching
happy.
it. Everybody else is doing very well. So thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry that I'm confused on who got pushed in.
See, actually, you're giving away plot and story because
Yeah.
all we saw was water.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know who might have been in the water. We're assuming, but it could have been that I'm trying to help.
I know.
But that's not helpful.
It could have been you, but you weren't there on the dock helping the person,
I
and the little
passed
girl
through.
didn't even help.
Well, no, she didn't.
Anyway.
She didn't.
But I adore you, and I said I wanted you on the show because I've had, I think, everybody else, and I said, how come we're not having Chandra? I think that, you know,
Where is
get
she?
you on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and congratulations on the SAG Awards. That's
Goodness.
fantastic.
Thank you
How
very
did that
I was so nervous that entire day. My hands were sweating the whole day, and you know, usually the shows don't bother me because it's
Yeah.
just kind of a party thing. And it was already exciting because I'd got my little SAG ballot thing
Yeah.
and filled out, did the little thing for my name and took it inside the post office, not to the little box. I said go in the post office and put it in there to make sure it
Wow,
shows
you
up
really
on time.
wanted your vote to count.
I was serious.
Just to make sure it got, yeah.
Serious. So when Christian Slater said, and Chandra Wilson, I said, I'm Chandra. I'll be
Yeah,
Chandra
yeah,
today.
yeah.
No problem. And, I just didn't want the 30-second music to come on. So I was trying to speak as quickly as I could.
I want to show, because if anyone missed the speech, I thought
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
cheering at home by myself. I thought it was amazing. I want to show people.
Uh-oh.
Last but not least, just to be able to take this thing home to my girls in particular and hold it in front of them and say, look, with this skin and this nose and this height and these arms, I'm here. Woo! Thank you, Screen Actors Guild, for taking me as I am. Thank you.
That was amazing.
You have to be nervous to flash the arm fat.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
national-
That was not arm fat. That was not arm fat. But I just thought, that is that is such a good message to pass on to your girls.
Well, I just need them to know that right now, today, they're enough where they are. Because my girls are 13 and 8, and that's awkward enough being that age.
Yeah.
And you always
And
look,
the little man.
Hey y'all, hey y'all. And you know, I don't need them questioning how they look or thinking that they can't be certain things because of, you know, whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I always try to tell them, you're enough today. You don't
Yeah.
need to try to impress anything. Now, and I mean that I don't care if you're a size 2. If you're a size 2 and you're good with being a 2, then that's great. If you're a 22 and you're
Yeah.
good there, that's great. I have
Yeah.
things that I need to nip and tuck and
Yeah.
get on my treadmill
Yeah.
and, you know, just for my own personal health.
Yeah.
But I didn't let, you know, anything about me stop me from, I said I was an actor a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Well, and also that part was written for a blonde, a white woman, and
Absolutely.
a blonde they had
Yeah.
in mind.
Short,
And-
white, blonde female was the specific
And
breakdown
you said, "That's
for Dr.
me."
Bailey.
How come I'm not called? And now, do you get to watch a lot of TV, or what do you do with your time off?
Oh gosh, time off. Okay, so what happens? I get home. I try to, you know, get on the treadmill just a little bit to
Really?
keep my
After
heart
work?
going. Absolutely, because
Yeah.
I don't, you know, there's no time. And my son, he's
Yeah.
old enough now where he can sit in the playpen and kind of watch me do it. And I put my soaps on because I
And
take my 4 hours of soaps a day. I gotta get it in.
4 hours?
Yes, I watch Young and the Restless, All My Children, One Life to Live in General Hospital every day on my VHS tape because I don't TiVo, and I have to get it done. So that allows me to get on the treadmill while he's in the playpen and try to get my soap in and, you know, get it done. And then I'd come off and I'd eat my little wheat bread. I'm eating, you know, Sara Lee wheat bread now because it's, you know, you have to have your grains in you.
Right, sure.
So that's my 100% whole wheat time. And yeah, it is. So, and sometimes this goes until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, depending on what time I get off
Wow,
work.
you keep up with those soaps
I
that's
have to.
desperate to keep up.
Because I won't, okay, I've actually had to move into 2 VHS tapes because it was 1 for the longest. I had to finish it because that's the tape that I record on the next day. But it hasn't been
What
too
about
good.
TiVo? What's wrong with you?
I mean, because see,
TiVo
that
is-
would be my excuse to spread it out, and then I'm done for the weekend. Then I'm sitting there the whole weekend trying to catch up on my soaps every day, and I don't have room in my life for that. So I have to get it done every single day. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Somebody knows.
The next time you're on, you're going to give me a soap update. You're going to
Absolutely.
fill me in, and maybe I'll get hooked on those.
And I can do that.
All
I
right,
can
good.
go back 30 years.
Oh, good.
You're
Well,
not ready.
you'll fill me in. Woo! Hi, Eric. It's good to see you.
It's very good to see you too.
I ran into you a few weeks ago at a restaurant.
Yeah, at the Fountain Room.
Yeah, it's always nice to see you, and
And likewise.
the people love you like crazy. And I'm just going to throw something out there, and you
Yeah.
can absolutely say no. But you know, it's hot everywhere. It's hot outside,
Oh, it's unbelievably hot.
so hot. And I thought, you know, it's just for charity. For $1,000. If you just take off, not your pants, just your shirt, not your pants. Just your shirt, 1,000 for charity.
You get me sole custody of the dog Trouble,
Really?
I'll take my shirt off.
I'll work on that.
Okay.
All right. Now I've got more incentive. All right, so let's talk about what you did this summer. You went to Europe, right?
We did. We went to Monte Carlo in London where we did I did some promotional work for the show, and then we went to Paris. It was my first time in Paris. I'd never been to Paris.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I was blown away.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely stunning.
And does everybody know who you are in all those places that you went?
Well, Monte Carlo, we sort of placed people there to know who I was, so that was rigged. London,
great.
it was a bit more organic. Paris was a trip because, you know, I didn't know. A lot of people watch Grey's Anatomy in France. I didn't know that. It's really fun being recognized with an accent.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And what they call you, is it McSteamy?
No, in France, it's Dr. Glamour, which doesn't sound as cool, but
Yeah. No, that's glamour. I mean, I
Glamour,
guess.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's much nicer when they say it.
Yeah. I was trying to do an accent just now.
Mine's not very good either. I picked up a little,
Yeah.
a tiny bit of French.
Did you? Did you try to speak French there?
Well, I had all the standards, the mercis and the bonjours and the un autre café, s'il vous plaît, which is another coffee, and mon petit canard, which is my little duck.
Oh. And now we've all learned that. That's
Yeah.
great.
That was useful, that one.
Yeah, we can go to Paris now.
Right.
And do you call people my little duck often?
Just my wife.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, isn't that sweet, my little duck? Say it again. How is it in French?
Mon petit canard.
Okay, that's great. Mon
I'm
petit
having trouble
canard.
with the R and the D. It's a French
The
thing.
older you get, the harder it is to try to learn a language, I feel.
I think so.
It's because I can't do it at all.
I think so.
Mon
And if
petit
you already
canard.
know another language, apparently it's a lot easier to learn English.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think that English is even more complicated because we say words that are all the same.
And it keeps changing every day.
Yeah,
the
it
vernacular.
does. It sure does, my man.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Grey's Anatomy and
Okay.
what's going on this season. And Isaiah is gone, Isaiah Washington. And does it
Isaiah's
feel
gone.
different? There are people gone now?
Well, you know, it does. It actually feels like we never left. It feels like just like sort of a long weekend. But
How long were you off?
We were off for 2 months.
Yeah, us too. Same thing.
Yeah, and Dr. Burke is gone, and he's certainly landed on his feet. I think people miss the character, but I wish him the best. And of course, Kate Walsh is gone. That character spun off, and she has her own show.
Right.
But it's business as usual. For us.
Is it fun? Are there some things that we're going to be very excited about, like twists and turns that we...
I think a lot more of the same. I think some different stuff. Dr. Sloan is single now, and I think that they're going to have a good time exploring that. Lots of sex, lots of surgery.
Uh-huh.
And I think the relationship with Dr. Shepard is going to continue to repair itself, and we're going to become the friends that we were. I think that's the direction it's headed in. And, you know, a lot more of the same. We have some interns coming in. And,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Well, I can't wait.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. And you are from...
Scotland.
Scotland.
Yes.
Scotland.
It's all a big smoke and mirrors.
It's a big sham.
It's a big sham.
And so, and how long have you been able to do the American accent so well? This must surprise people when they meet you.
I do when I go to Trader Joe's and to Ralph's, and people are like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it! You're from Scotland," and which is flattering to me because I feel as though I've actually done my homework and learned my accent.
It
properly.
sounds like that accent that you're doing sounds like you're joking around. It sounds like that you really are American, but you're out at Trader Joe's trying to talk like that.
Like Anthony Hopkins being very posh. Like
but
that.
you can go back and forth like that with no problem.
Well, I've always enjoyed that thing of just jumping in and out of accents, different characters. Why I wanted to become an actor, it's just to, express different, I love mimicking other people's voices. And I think in Scotland, you don't get much Scottish TV here, right?
No, not a lot.
Not much. There's not much being made. But we get a lot of American TV. So I was brought up on Cagney and Lacey and, Dukes of Hazzard and all that stuff. So, so I used to copy those accents all the time.
So in Scotland, so did you go away you knew you wanted to be an actor there?
I did, where I'm from the Highlands of Scotland, which is basically famous for whiskey and sheep.
Oh, I've got to go there someday.
And fishing. People become fishermen or plumbers or farmers there. My grandfather was a farmer. My dad is a plumber. And so nobody ever becomes an actor in the Highlands of Scotland. The biggest celebrity you could become in Scotland is a dentist. That's kind of the highest sort of celebrity. So I turned up, and when I was 7 years old, I just decided that was it, and people just thought I was nuts.
Have you made any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, me and my wife are not very good. We're really disorganized just in paying bills, and we just need to get more organized. Last year we took these 2 dogs home from London to LA, 2 dogs that we love dearly. And we kept saying, we've got to get these dogs taken to the vet and get the job done so they don't, because one of them's a boy and one of them's a girl. And we're going, right, okay, the next thing on the list is get the job done so they don't, And
so they don't get the job done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then they did get the job done. We opened up the kennel one day and they were kind of together, looking in each other's eyes lovingly. And they produced
that's
these
the result
puppies.
of that?
We got these 7 puppies.
7 puppies.
And
that's cute.
They're just adorable. That's the one we kept. That's Pippa. who's crazy wild. She's half Cocker Spaniel, half Springer Spaniel, with a bit of Jack Russell thrown in. Just
That's
for
a
good
hyper
measure.
dog right there.
And that's the mother in the middle, Rosie, and that's Patch, the daddy, and that's Pippa on the left.
Oh, well, that's cute. But now I hope you had the job done.
We've got the job
Good.
completely done.
The dogs are spooning. That's really cute.
He's a very protective father.
Oh, that's
Patch
really
is very
cute.
protective.
And you're married now?
I am married
And how's
now.
that going?
It's going very well.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
It started a little rocky in the beginning, but
that's
oh,
Josh,
there
right?
he is. There's
Yeah.
my guy.
Yeah. Now, why was it Rocky?
You know what? I think, well, several reasons. Marriage is hard. And we had never lived together before we got
really?
married. I was sort of desperately clinging to my independence just for a little longer. I'm kind of obnoxious about how I like to live. I am very specific about how I like things, where I like things, and then we started living together because
So
we
you're
had
neat and
to.
he's messy.
Yes.
Uh-huh. That's what you're saying.
Yes. And it's little things. It's just the little things, but they can drive you bananas.
They can.
So,
They can.
yeah.
Like what little things?
Well, with him, the other day, the poor guy, I'm always just killing him. But anyway, he's wonderful most of the time. But the other day, you know, in the master bathroom, the trash can was full. And I mean, we're both using it. We both look at it every day and put our Kleenexes in it and our trash in it. And so what I don't understand is, if you're looking at it and I'm looking at it, why don't you help and take it out sometimes?
Right. Yes.
You know, because I do it 90% of the time. Like,
Right.
hey, throw me a bone.
Yeah, just 10%
Take the trash
once in a
out.
while.
But it's so ridiculous, isn't it? That it's such a cliche, but that is it.
Taking the
It's
trash.
those little things.
All right, so let's get to the big announcement because I know what it is, and I'm so excited for you. Tell everybody what you came here to tell people.
I did. It's so exciting for me to do this with you because I love you, and this is such an important thing in our lives. And obviously, our marriage is going well enough because we are adopting a baby from Korea.
So the baby is in Korea right now. How old is the baby?
It's a little girl, and she'll be 10 months at the end of this month. She was actually born the day before me in November, which I thought was really serendipitous and just kind of like a sign. And then I realized just recently I basically forfeited my birthday for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Which is not
Or
cool.
hers to you.
Well,
wait, so when did
no one
you
will
meet her?
celebrate
How
mine.
long ago, and when did you start
We-
thinking about this?
We started talking about adoption even before we were engaged because it's really important to me. It's been a big part of my life and my family. My sister is Korean, and my parents adopted her back in the 70s. And so I just always knew that that was something I wanted to do. And I made that really clear because not everybody's down with that. Not everybody, you know, thinks that. Do you know what I mean? And I just wanted to make sure that I was marrying a guy or into a guy who understood that that was going to have to happen.
Right.
And so about a year ago is when we started going, okay, let's start the process. And the process is intense, but it's different, but it isn't. Do you know what I mean? It's just as intense, I'm sure, and to have a baby biologically, because you're going through the whole physical sort of thing of it. But
there's lots of. I mean, I know a little bit about that. There's a lot of questions. They make you answer.
We had to fill out a pamphlet that was about 40 pages, super detailed. What kind of people we were, how we expected to raise the baby, what kind of parenting ideas do we have, how were we raised, what would we do the same, and what would we do differently. And it was funny because
I think everyone should fill that out.
I do too.
I think that every single
really
person
do
should
too.
fill that out.
I really do too. These are very valid questions.
Yeah, it's a baby.
It's a baby, and you should probably have some idea. And it's funny
Yeah.
because you kind of don't even, you think about some of these things, you talk about some of these things, but you don't get really into the mix of it until you're looking at these questions going, oh my God, we better answer these right, otherwise they won't give us the baby.
Right. And the baby is in Korea right now.
She is.
And when did you see her? You met her, I assume.
We have not met her yet.
You haven't met her?
No, and that's partly why
Did they send a
I'm
picture?
here talking about this. Yes, they sent us a picture. They told us that it was a little girl and who she was and the information about, oh God, like 6 months ago, and it was meant to take a long time. This sort of thing can take years. But her name is Naylee. She's, I'm naming her after my mother and my sister, Nancy Lee. So we call her Naylee. I just dropped that one. Anyway, I'm sure that's fine. Anyway, we have to meet her first. We assume it's a Naylee. But she has special needs. She's a special needs baby. And because of that, we all moved so much faster. They wanted to get her to us as quickly as possible. And
so she's coming real soon.
Really, very soon.
Real soon.
Which is why I wanted to tell everybody so you don't think I stole a Korean baby.
And that's why you're here, so that you can then go have time to do that. And so are you going there to get her? Is she coming here?
This was the whole sort of complicated thing because I actually wanted to go to Korea to get her, and I wanted to bring my sister because she's never been back since she left 34 years ago.
Yeah.
And then she went and got pregnant. So she couldn't fly anymore, no. And she was, you know, sort of like, yeah, we'll do it next time. And I was like, but this was going to be a big moment for all of us. Okay. And then it turned, you know, the more we thought about it, the more crazy it was to try to attempt it because, you know, a week ago I went rug shopping and there were 50 paparazzi and I just thought, this will traumatize her, and I don't want to traumatize her right out the gate. I mean, there's plenty of time for that.
Right, right. So much time to mess her up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what is really sad about you know, people that are in the spotlight that have kids, because you know it's not fair to the child because they just are like they have no idea why that's happening.
And it's scary. It can be really intimidating.
Yeah.
And you can't see like your feet in front of you because it's so many flashes and that sort of thing. And I just thought it's one thing to take me on, and I made a choice, so I have to live with the consequences of that choice. But I don't take my kid on.
Well, hopefully they'll leave you alone. But we got you a one thing we got you is Ellen onesie so she can put that on.
That's awesome.
All right. And I'm glad you brought this up. I was going to tell you about the paparazzi can be really, really relentless. So what we got, this is, we modified.
Decoy, baby!
We got, well, you can do that too, but we got this to put the baby can actually, we actually put this together so that you can actually put the baby hoodie on and a wig, and they'll never recognize her. Or you can use a decoy baby.
We'll just use her as a decoy.
Just use her.
She doesn't look very Korean, though.
No, not right now, but we can fix that. All right. Oh, well, so Jessica and I met, God, I don't know how long ago this was. Do you remember the year?
I think it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago, I did a movie with her mom, Kate Capshaw, a movie called The Love Letter, and that's where I met you. Well, that was, oh my God. They made me wear headbands. They thought
the headbands were the best part.
No, they made me wear them. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea, but that was my character. She wore headbands, and I don't know what that was about, but it was, oh dear. Oh, that's hilarious. Was it like?
It was what I remember the most.
Is that what you're
bad?
Did you think that it was my idea to wear them?
I did. I thought it was a choice.
No, it was not my choice.
Really? Because I thought that would stave off any sort of bad hair day. You just sort of plop that sucker on and you're good.
No, they kind of, because I was doing my sitcom before that, and everybody thought I was too known for that, so they thought, well, let's change it. Let's make you wear a wig. And I was like, I don't want to wear a wig. And so then they came up with the headband. Anyway, but that's where I met you.
I loved it.
And because you were young then. You're still young now, but.
Well, hey, you know.
Yeah.
We get older.
Yeah.
It was right after I had graduated from college, and it was the summer, and I was sort of staving off any sort of real responsibility, and we did it in like a summer town, and you were really funny.
It was a really fun shoot, actually. We had a lot of fun. And now, because you grew up everywhere, like you sort of moved around almost as much as I did.
Yeah. No. Well, my mom was an actress, so we moved everywhere because people used to make movies in the place that they actually exist. Now we can do them, you know, anywhere. But we moved around a lot, and I think we got to the point where I was like, I'd gone to 12 schools, and I was only 12, and I kind of called uncle. I was like, I gotta stay in one place because all my friends are over 35, and that's inappropriate. You know, I had to like make some real friends.
That was your choice.
My age.
Yeah. Well, good for you for doing that.
Yeah.
And what movies? Because you were on some amazing sets though with your mom. And what was your favorite one to be on?
Well, I think that you gotta pick the hands down Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Because yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Because my mom and I sort of both fell in love, and my mom fell in love with Steven, and I did too, and you know, now they're married.
Steven
and all turned out
Spielberg.
well.
Steven Spielberg, who's the nicest man you'll ever meet. Right? The nicest, so kind.
Yeah.
Really good guy.
So generous and just so always interested in you feeling really great.
Yeah, I love him and your mom. They're just lovely,
Yeah,
lovely
they
people.
love you.
And you have a baby now.
I do. I have a baby.
How old is he?
He's 2.5. He's actually back there. He's 2.5, and he's pretty much the best thing ever.
What is his name?
His name is Luke. That's my husband, Christopher.
Oh man, it's a shame he's not cute though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. He's just not cute enough.
I know.
And what's that? What is he like? What's his little thing?
He's a boy through and through. He's all about the choo-choos, the trains. He likes to bang things loudly, mostly in public when it would embarrass me. And then I get to sort of publicly parent him and negotiate that. You know,
in front of people while they judge if that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. And most of the time they're looking at him and then they sort of like see me on the side and go like, is that Dr. Arizona?
Yeah. And how is that? Is that true? When I heard this was your third time that you auditioned for that show?
Yes, it is my favorite show, and I had been watching it through, it coming on mid-season, and I loved it. And I had just had Luke, and he was about 2 weeks old, and my agent called me and said, I would never normally call you, but I know it's your favorite show, and do you want to go in? There's a 9-episode arc coming up. And I said, yeah, no, I'll do it. And I hadn't left Luke at all.
And the baby was 2 weeks old and you went in for an audition?
I had, I think, upwards of 14 pairs of Spanx on my body. I just hauled my cookies in there and I was sort of like, I figured out like what angle I looked maybe like I hadn't just had a baby from, and I gave Shonda that angle as I auditioned. And then the good news was they said, that was great. Can you come back tomorrow? And I was like, I have to do this again. I can't do this again. And I read with Patrick, who I had worked with before, and I left thinking, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. I want to be on my favorite show. And then they called and said, we really like you. You're so great, but not so much right now. And so I was devastated. And so I only TiVo'd them and didn't watch them anymore. And then I forgave them. I did. I like to punish people with my silence. I said no, and then I watched them over the summer. And then I got called in again, and then I went in and thought, okay, well now they have to, right? They love me so much from the time before.
They
Clearly,
said they did.
I will now get this part. No. No part. So then they said, no, we really do love her, but there might be something coming up. And then, they treated people they love the way they should. They called me and said, come and do 3 episodes. And then I did, and then the character grew into a series regular, which I feel really, really grateful and
yeah, what a great show to be a part of. Well, congratulations. That's great. I'm so glad to see you. You look great. You look good. That's a cute boy. Hi, Jesse.
Hello, everybody.
So Jesse, I love this that everybody has some job they did before they landed a wonderful role on television.
Yes.
And you had a really cool job. You were a teacher.
I was.
At what grade?
Mostly high school. In
Can you
Philadelphia.
imagine he's your teacher in high school?
It was fun.
I bet it was fun. But I mean, they wouldn't have concentrated, those girls.
It was, sometimes you had to make yourself clear. Yeah, I taught high school. I also taught, middle school. I taught kindergarten for about 6 months.
Kindergarten?
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I'm not going back there. I love the kids, but it's like getting caught in a tornado. It's like whack-a-mole. If you're putting out fires, left, right. As soon as you calm something else down, there's something else ablaze, and and they're liars.
Yeah?
Their parents must know this, but
Children are liars.
They just lie all the time for fun, for no reason.
And pretend like they don't
you
even...
catch them doing something very clearly. So-and-so runs down and bumps into somebody else because they want to be the first in line to go to recess, and you watch them do it. They watched you watch them do it. They see you. They look down what they did. They see you, and you say, did you just run into her? No. They get a tantrum, and they freak out, and they'll go to their grave. I mean, they want to fight you about it.
Wow.
It's inspiring, I guess. They'll grow up to be an attorney, I'm sure.
And to learn to lie like that, yeah. And so how are you enjoying living here? Where are you from?
I moved here from Brooklyn, New York. Love Brooklyn, love New York.
And it's very different?
It is. It's a lot different. A lot of people, you kind of get indoctrinated with what you're not going to like about LA and what you are.
Yeah.
And what I tried to really resist, I think, most of all, was the walking versus driving every single place. And people drive people drive around the corner here. People,
Yes.
you know, will park their car, get their stuff to go to the gym, and then drive around the block to go to the gym.
Yes.
And I tried to resist that, and I remember being out here, actually, staying with friends. There's this monstrosity complex out here called the Park La Brea. I don't know if people out here know it. It takes up like 18 city blocks of condos. And
Is that where you lived?
No, but I was staying at a friend's house right near there, and I tried to cut through. I'm used to kind of a grid in New York. And I thought I would just cut through instead of walking the 18 miles around this thing. So I got in, I kind of just walked through a gate that happened to be open. Little did I know that the gates are never open, and you need a key to get out of these gates. And all of the streets zigzag, there's no grid. You're going in cul-de-sacs and zigging around. So I get stuck, I get lost in there, first of all. I don't know up from down. And I'm trying to get out and look cool getting out, like not look suspicious. I'm carrying a box. I happen to be carrying a box of stuff that a buddy of mine gave me. So it looked like I'm just robbed somebody's house. So I'm sprinting to a fence to try to get out, and it's locked. And now you've got to play it cool. And then a woman comes out of her house, and so I pick up my phone and pretend that I'm looking, where am I? Yeah, I know, I'll be right there, and trying to figure it out. And somebody else is leaving the gate, and you try to run and try to get out, and I got trapped for about half an hour in this maze and this monstrosity, so I had to ask a landscaper guy to let me out. So now I drive everywhere.
Good for you, good for you. Yeah, I imagine that looked very suspicious, running around with a box trying to get out of a gate.
I was sweaty, it was not, yeah.
Not good. I have a picture that I want to ask you what's happening in this picture. What's that?
Why? That's,
why not?
That's a, it's a little film I did called The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2. That's enough of that. Do that now. Great experience. God, I hope Grays doesn't think they're going to get some of that action.
They're going to get some of that action.
That was years ago.
No, that's a good look right there. That's whatever you're doing.
Necklace.
Keep doing that.
You?
Yeah, the necklace.
Yeah.
What's happening on Grays? You've only kissed one person so far.
I have.
Is there going to be more of that?
I don't know.
Then more of that stuff?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. She's great. But I think, eventually something like that is going to happen. It's Grey's Anatomy. But I really have no idea. But they will be in for a surprise if they think they're getting that. I told them maybe give me a month or two notice so I can run a couple laps, run around Park La Brea.
Why, you don't look like that anymore?
No, I think I'd be like McGut.
No. Well, and speaking of that, everybody has. There's McDreamy, McSteamy, and you don't have a nickname yet, right?
You're right.
Okay.
I've been trying to resist. Get a lot of crap on set. They're constantly trying to come up with names.
I've given you one.
Have you?
And not only have I given you one, it is going to stick because you're going to wear this on the show. And it is.
What do we have?
Just really, really, really hot.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's, it's catchier than most.
Yeah, I know.
That's terrific.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Patrick.
Hi there.
I love having you here for many, many reasons. You're easy on the eyes. I like the way you dress. You're charming, and welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I get great, rubber thongs when I come on the show.
Not always.
But it's good.
Did you wear the rubber thong that we gave you?
Yesterday was a very warm day, and it was not a good day for the rubber thong.
No. Yeah.
That was suede, I believe, or faux suede.
Yeah.
I just wear that around the house.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it's really quite exciting.
Send us a photo of that if you can. We'd like to see it.
You bet.
And I heard you were just in my home state of Louisiana shooting a movie, right?
Yes, I was in Baton Rouge doing a movie called Fly Paper, which I produced and started, and it's really warm down there.
Yes, it is. It's always warm down there. Had you been there before?
No, it's my first time.
And how did you enjoy it?
It was very warm all the time, so...
But not just warm, humid.
Very humid. It's like 100 degrees and 100% humidity, and you have to get everything done by 9 a.m. If you're going to go out and do any exercising or riding, or like I would ride the bike around the lake at LSU.
Yeah.
And I made a mistake going in the middle of the day, and there was nobody there. I was like, oh, okay, of course, it's summertime. No one's going to school. Nobody's here. And then I got halfway around the lake. I'm like, oh, God, it is really humid.
Right.
And then I went back around 6 or 7, and then it becomes a social event where everybody's out walking around, saying hello, and walking their dogs, riding their bikes, and jogging.
And did they recognize you when they saw you?
Yes. They started to recognize me at the beginning of the lake, and then by the time I got halfway around, there were just crowds gathering, and people coming up to you and asking for photographs, and things like that, and it was nice. By the end of it, I got to know everybody.
Yeah, they're friendly there.
Yeah, very friendly. I went into a shop at Whole Foods, which is a wonderful supermarket where it's all organic, or it says to be.
Right.
And a guy comes up to me and he goes, you know, you look really familiar. I'm like, oh, good, yeah, great. You're a fan of the show. What is the name of the show? I'm like, it's Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, you're like that guy in the show. Yeah. What's his name? Patrick Dempsey. Hey, how you doing? You look just like him. No, I really am him. He's like, no, you're not. You're not him at all. And so somebody comes up to me, true story, somebody comes up to me, hey, can you take a picture with me? I'm like, sure, absolutely, no problem. So they grab their phone, and then they can't figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And he's still convinced that I'm making fun of him, and I'm like, no, I'm really it. You're not it, but him.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
No,
So
you
there
are
I am,
it. You're
and then
right.
suddenly more and more people start showing up and taking pictures, and until the very last person, he still denied the fact that it was actually me, who I was completely confused if it was really me or not by the end of it.
Did you want to show him your driver's license or something?
I had the little card that says Dr. McDreamy someone had given me, and I pulled it out. And he goes, see, that's not you.
Right. Right.
I'm like, okay, thank you very much. I just want to get my sandwich and go now.
Right. I've had people say that I look like Ellen also, but then they believe me. I don't know why people would think you're a liar. I don't know why that...
I don't know. And his mom came up and said, oh, McDreamy. And she gave me a big hug. And I was like, see, Mom knows.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was surreal.
So, things are less drama this year on Grey's Anatomy on the set. Everything's all settled down and all that?
Everybody's healed back. It's nice. The trauma is over. And now the big push is to have a child.
Yes, you're going to be
working very hard on that.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we're dealing with. I think this week she tells him what happened, and he discovers.
All right. Exciting.
It's fun.
All right. Do we have time for one round or no? We don't. All right. We'll do one round of this game that Last Word.
Last Word.
Yeah, it's called Last Word, and we have a category, and we have 45 seconds on the clock, and you can't repeat the same thing.
Okay.
We have people to time it.
Okay.
And we have so much.
Sorry.
So it's a category, and you can't repeat the same thing, and you go until the clock runs out, and you want to have the last word in, okay?
Okay, good.
And the category is going to be medical ailments, and...
oh, God.
You start.
Hysterectomy.
Laceration.
Twisted ankle.
Broken ankle.
Contusion.
Broken elbow.
Broken finger.
Ulcer.
Brain tumor.
Scoliosis.
Heart attack.
Earache.
Ligament pull.
You're a doctor?
I only play one on TV.
Right.
I have no clue what I'm saying.
Arthritis.
Arthritis. Hair loss. Technically, it is medical.
Loss of hearing.
A split head. It's the clock. Stop the ticking. Stop the ticking. Stop the ticking.
I don't hear ticking. All right, okay. Well, that's not fair. Oh, hi, Eric.
Hi, Ellen. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You smell so good.
Thanks. So do you.
He smells real good. So you and Rebecca are celebrating your 8th wedding anniversary, is that right?
October 29th, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And did you do anything crazy? Like, how did you propose? How was your proposal?
Quickly.
Yeah?
Yeah. We did it over dinner, and it just happened so fast, and then all of a sudden it's 8 years later, and time really flies. But that's one way to do it, up in the sky.
So you didn't how long were you all together before you proposed?
About a year.
So, and you didn't like obsess over it, like, how do I have to do this? You were just at dinner and said, let's get married?
It was like a dare. She dared me.
So she proposed to you then?
Well, it depends on who you ask, but...
I just asked you, and it sounds like she proposed.
No, I think if I remember correctly, she asked me if I had done anything really, really impulsive. And I said, like what? Like propose to anybody? He said, no, just, have you done anything? I said, do you want to get married? Is that what you're asking me? And she said, are you asking me if I want to get married? I said, well, yeah, I'm asking you if you want to get married. She said, okay. And I went, check. Paid the bill, we jumped in the car and took the last flight out of LAX to Vegas.
Really? Like right from dinner, you went to Las Vegas and got married?
Straight away.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I didn't want her to change her mind.
Did you go to one of those like Elvis chapels or something like that?
No, it wasn't that nice.
But then did you have like a celebration, like a party afterwards where you invited people and had a party?
Not really.
No.
No.
All right. And still, yet you have 2 children, and you're still
And
together.
we have a great marriage,
And
yeah.
great marriage. That's the way to do it then.
Yeah.
So, and since I've seen you, you have a brand new little baby girl, right?
Georgia.
Georgia.
I think I brought a picture too. She's adorable.
That's ridiculous. Why
She's the
was she
easiest baby in the world.
Was that like a bathing suit outfit or something?
Yeah.
She didn't want to get her hair wet?
She doesn't have any hair.
I know, that's why it's ridiculous. She's wearing a bathing cap. That's Georgia and Billy,
Well,
right?
so you don't get sunburned. Yeah.
Yeah.
Georgia and Billy.
And Billy is how old?
2.5.
And does she...
Yeah, that's Billy.
There's Billy.
That kind of sums it up.
Yep. She takes after her daddy, taking her clothes off
Right?
like that, yeah.
Okay.
So, and they both like hats. They like headwear, both of them.
It's mandatory in our
Yeah.
house.
And does she like having a little sister?
She loves it. She calls her little pretty.
Really?
Yeah.
My little pretty.
My little pretty.
That's really sweet. Or it's like the Wicked Witch of the West or something like that. My little pretty, I'll get you.
No, she sells it pretty well.
Yeah. And so last week your character died, but you come back this week in kind of a retrospective, right?
Nobody dies on Grey's Anatomy. You
Right.
just come back as a ghost somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And they name a hospital wing after you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they set it up so that I die right off the bat, and then we go back and kind of look at the events that precipitated the coma.
Right. Well, Patrick was here, and he got in so much trouble because he tweeted out that picture of you, and
Yeah.
he wasn't supposed to do that because then everybody was like, oh, he survives. But then it was like a little twist, like, oh, no, he doesn't, you know, because we all thought you survived.
I know, and he took the picture, and he said, I'm going to tweet this, and I said, well, you should. That'll piss somebody off. Go for it. But I think the picture he took was of me when I was sleeping, which is kind of creepy.
That he watches you when you asleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and that's a pretty easy gig when you're just in a hospital bed. You go to work and you can just sleep the whole time.
Well, yeah. I brought my iPad and a couple books, and I laid in bed for about 12 hours.
Wow. That's not too
Tough job.
tough. Yeah. Well, we put together, we're going to miss you. We put together
Thank
a
you.
little looking back 6 years of mixed teaming. Let's take a look.
Well, that's how I'd like to be remembered. You okay?
It was beautiful.
It was.
Congratulations, my God. It's got to be one of the longest running shows now ever. 18th season
Very,
on
very
Grey's
cool.
Anatomy. You know what's a trip, Chandra? Is 18 seasons, and I know a lot of young teenagers that watch it now, too.
Yeah.
It's fascinating now that it's been able to be streamed. It's like this whole new audience gets
We're
to fall in love with it, right?
generational, that's what we are. No, but it
that's a
is. It's
testament
like
to the
you
show.
know, kids found us, and then so they start watching, and then the parents hop back in and go, "Oh, are you at the park? Oh, okay. Wait till you get to that part. Oh, don't get too attached." You know, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you know they all like start cycling together. So I thank you guys so much for that.
That's awesome.
You know?
And the episode that airs tonight
Yes.
will be the 22nd one you've directed.
Yes, it will be.
I couldn't believe this when I heard about this, that you actually had a night job your first season of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
So you were double dip. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, as a you know an actor, a working actor out there in New York, you're used to having your bread and butter. My bread and butter was my job in the document processing department at Bankers Trust at the time before it became Deutsche Bank. It was long-term temp, and it was perfect because it was overnight, and you know, I could still audition and work during the day and, you know, make the high-end money because I was an operator back in the day. You know, I knew how to do Word, Excel, and PowerPoint.
Okay, that's a real job.
I know, the babies come out knowing how to do that now, but back then,
Right.
that was the, you know.
But that's great because you had guarded optimism because this business is so fickle, you never know,
I
right?
had
You didn't know it was going to be
actress
18
friend said,
seasons.
Don't ever put all your eggs in one basket, especially when they call you out here to LA, because the jobs don't last. And I
right.
had gone through a series before that we only got like 6 or 7 episodes on before we were canceled. So it was in season 2 when I came back to do it. And what, as a long-term temp, you just check in, like, you know, to check in for your availability. Right. And so all season 1, I just kept checking in, saying, oh, I'm not available this weekend. I'm not available this weekend. So when we got to season 2, my supervisor said, will you stop calling and telling us that you're not available? Because we see you on TV. Yeah. So why are you telling us that you're not available? So basically, they had to kind of force me out.
I hear you're a huge soap opera fan.
Always a fan.
And you got to fulfill a dream of being on your favorite soap.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which one is that?
So now what's left is Young and the Restless in General Hospital that I watched, that I've been watching since I was, since I had eyes, I guess.
Really?
And,
okay.
Yeah. So General Hospital is on our lot. And so Frank Ballantini, bless his heart, he humors me and he calls me every night to come in and play on General. So every time I go, I'm a different character.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Just go over there and play. And then, because I was supposed to go back and do the nurses' ball again last year.
I did the nurses' ball.
See, you gotta do the nurses'
I did. My mother-in-law's a huge fan, so I was like, okay, I'll do it.
You gotta
What's a
do
nurses'
that.
ball?
I know, but you show up for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I did. I was thinking about my mother.
Well, let's talk about what's going on in your life right now. So you did a story, Hollywood Reporter talked about you being the highest paid actress on a drama on television. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
I mean, most people don't talk about what they make, but especially when it comes to women, because there has been such inequality, and when you started the show, you didn't make as much as your male co-star, and yet it's called Grey's Anatomy, and it's you, and you. So, but why did you share this story?
I think, you know, there are certain moments where it's important to be really truthful about our pain and about our struggles. I recently read the article about your 20-year anniversary of your show and the whole story about you coming out and how painful that was. And look at what came out of that. You know, I could cry just recalling you know, that article. It was a monumental moment for the gay and lesbian community, for you in your life, and like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, look at you now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I think that sometimes, you know, you have to go through painful things to just be an example. You know, if you have a platform, we have a platform. And the women who have approached me from all walks of life since this article came out, I've really been shocked and really moved, but so shocked and so moved about how many women just run up to me and want to share their stories. Because I think as women, you know, sometimes we're afraid to ask, we're afraid to be vocal, we're taught not to be. They like us quiet, as we've seen from this administration. You know, so I think it's really important to encourage each other, encourage other women to stand up and be strong and know that we will be okay and we have each other's backs.
Yeah, and I think that it's okay. I think that it makes it okay then the more that this happens for other women to support women and say, because some people come from a place of lack, like, oh, if somebody has something, I'm not going to get it. And there's abundance. Everyone can have whatever they want. So just because you're making a whole lot of money doesn't mean another woman is not going to make that money.
Look at us. This is 2 Ellens.
Yep.
Both with TV shows.
Yep.
We're both doing great.
Yeah.
There's 2 seats at the table.
Yeah.
And that speaks to, you know, what you just said is so poignant because it's true. That speaks to civil rights and equal rights. And there's that notion, you know, this is a much broader conversation, but because you have means I don't get is a very deep-rooted thing where racism and sexism is based.
Yes.
And so it's important to talk about that and unearth that and just simply dispel it and say that is simply not true.
And do you think that, so there's talk that these 2 co-stars of yours are not coming back, right?
Yeah.
Jessica and Sarah.
Yeah, Jessica Capshaw, Sarah Drew.
Now there's rumors that it's because they're using the excuse that they're paying you so much that there's not enough money to pay them to come back. That is absolutely not true.
It's absolutely not true. I mean, I'm not involved in these kind of decisions. However, there's a few problems that you encounter doing a show for 14 seasons. And one of them is the writers have a really hard time creatively, thinking up new stories for all these characters. And I mean, I think we have 16 regular cast members. And it's always sad when we lose people for whatever reason, whether they want to go or they don't want to go. It doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, because I don't want that to be a perception out there that it's somehow attached to your paycheck, that because they're leaving for different reasons or whatever.
I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. I think that it's important for us to not pit women against each other, and to really dispel the notion that women are always victims.
Yeah.
You don't have to pit us against each other. We're not enemies. We do lift each other up and support each other, and we're not victims.
Yeah.
We're very strong, and we're capable of many, many things.
We sure are.
Yeah.
And even in the midst of this, Ms. Allen, you mentioned Grey's Anatomy. You've been there for 10 seasons.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, you starred in it, you've done executive producer, you've directed, and also just changed the way that the show also moves forward, too. You got to be proud of that as well.
Well, it was a blessing and a great responsibility that Shonda Rhimes gave me to continue the relevance of the show, the inclusivity of the show. So I started hiring 50% women, female directors. This was before Me Too or any of that, because as a woman, I know I've always had my own challenges getting work, and they just need the opportunity. So I found women, I hired black men, I still hired some cute white boys. I didn't leave them out. And when I first got there, we went to a 12-hour day. It was a well-oiled machine. It just needed some energy and joy.
Absolutely.
And this last year was pretty amazing that we dealt with COVID. Our writers, Ellen Pompeo, my God, we had her. She suffered COVID and survived. And that was a great and very difficult story to tell of her in that place between life and death. And the beach became her safe place. And we brought back McDreamy.
I love it.
And all the wonderful people that we had missed so many years. It was great.
Absolutely. I mean, y'all, how can y'all not be inspired right now? Seriously. How can you not be inspired?
All right, let's talk about Grey's Anatomy. This is the 15th season. Will there be a 16th season?
Yes, of course.
Yes?
Yes.
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 It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I thought that there was a possibility that it wasn't.
Well, my contract is till season 16. And so I'm completely obligated to do season 16. And these numbers, there's just no end in sight with streaming, and the show is so popular.
Yeah.
And I have to say, again, I love coming here. Thank you for giving me this platform, because not only do we get to do great things, but we get to say thank you, because everywhere I go, whether it's Italy, whether it's France, London, Kansas, the people that come up to me with tears in their eyes and tell me how meaningful the show is to them. The last episode that I directed, was the first episode I directed, actually. It was a teenager was in the show, and he was gay, and he played a gay character on my show. And after we had filmed the whole entire episode, he said to me, my whole life, I've watched the show with my parents, and I've sort of used the show as a way to tell my parents that I was gay, and to show my parents that it's okay, that I'm not different, there's nothing wrong with me. And Grey's really helped my parents to understand what having a gay son meant, and that it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. And for my parents to now see me as an actor getting a part on this show, has just been everything. So I gotta keep doing it, man, because we're touching lives and making a difference. So.
Yes. Yeah, you are. You are. It's fantastic.